Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Let's supersize your business with no nonsense November. I like to, in the month of November, men do no shave November where I live for hunting season. It's a big thing, and they grow these crazy beards to go hunting with. I guess it keeps them warm. I'm not sure why. Uh, but I like to share in November big lessons learned in business and in life, and share a story usually about how I've applied it. I'm doing No Nonsense November as part of our Let's Grow annual challenge this year. And I thought, well, why not share those same lessons with my business folks? Because the lessons we learn in life, the lessons we apply in our life also apply to our businesses. Well, today's is number 1, and I like to share a tool that goes along with how do you implement, how do you use, how do you understand that lesson more? Because most of these no nonsense things were definitely created from a whole lot of nonsense that I or people that I was working with had to live through and figure out along the way. And today's number 1, and they're in no particular order. I just brainstorm a list and then I share them because that's how I've learned these lessons. I didn't learn them in a nice formulaic order that would make sense if I'd learned them in this way, in a certain way in the first place. It wouldn't be my journey, and each of us have our own journey. So today's is your values and beliefs. And the tool we're going to use is the Values Inventory Worksheet. Now, I learned this one the hard way because I didn't originally understand that the things that I love to do, the things that are my core values, the things that are most important to me, impact how well I do in life and in business. And so some of the businesses I was involved in early on in my career and in my, I guess it's part of my career and my journey, weren't the right businesses for me. And so I struggled. Some of those businesses actually failed. Other businesses I just divested myself with because I realized over time that they didn't match how I wanted to show up in the world. They didn't match my core values, the core values of the things that are most important to me. Things like making the world a better place. Things like treating people the way you want to be treated. Things like adding value to the world and making the world, I guess I just said making the world a better place. But doing things to solve problems and help people. A couple of the businesses that I was involved in early on, I don't think met that criteria, or I was involved with the wrong people, but that's a tool and a tip for another day. So today I Googled, and I just did it quickly, different values inventory worksheets, because it's a great tool. And I haven't really specifically used that tool before. So I was curious, how could I use that and what's available? Literally, there are hundreds of different worksheets available that we can use to get a feeling for what are our core values, what's most important to us. And if you're listening to me and you're on this, you may very well have already done some work in this area. People in the challenge have done it at least 9 times, probably 10 at this point, because we use it as a tool and not the values inventory worksheet per se, but we go through a process where we identify our core values for each of the different life framework areas that I use: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, relationships, contribution, confidence, and communication. I added in 2021 following the pandemic. So there again, lessons learned of what are core things that I wanted to add to my life framework. So today, I encourage you, if you've never done one, just go online or check phone apps. I didn't even do that. I didn't even check mobile apps for values inventory worksheets, but I'm pretty sure there's probably some tools or things there as well. But just go through or just sit 5 minutes and revisit your core values. What's most important to you? What are you passionate about? Who are the role models and the people that you look up to? And what values do they hold, or what values do you believe that they hold? Because sometimes we think people that we look up to have certain values and beliefs, and we come to find out that they absolutely positively do not. That's a heartbreaker. It's when we learn more about our heroes, sometimes we realize our heroes have clay feet, which again, that's another life lesson learned, that we can be disappointed because we filter through. Our beliefs are the filter through which we see the world. Our core values are our compass for how we show up in the world and what's most important to us, how we draw that line in the sand. So that's our topic for today. Curious, have you identified your core values? Have you ever used a core values worksheet? Share in the comments below. I'd love to hear about that. And I will be with you tomorrow and every day with a No Nonsense November lesson learned. I'll try to pull a story from my experience and how I learned that lesson, unless they're too embarrassing or painful. But I might share some of those anyway, because I think those are the ones that I personally have learned the most from, right? It's the failures that I've learned the most from in my life and in my businesses. And they're not failures because I didn't quit. So I'll also then share a tool so we can have a tool to apply that job or that particular lesson, and maybe avoid learning that lesson the hard way ourselves because we use the tool to prevent it from happening in our business or in your business. Already happened in mine. All right, have a great day, and I'll of course be with you tomorrow. Any questions? Ask. Any massive lessons learned you want to make sure I touch on, please share that with me. You can direct message me or share in the comments below. Have a great day.